A woman lived with her husband for 40 years until one day the FBI told her who he really was. Bobby and Cheryl were a happily married couple that had spent over 40 years together. The couple had a very happy marriage, but after such a long time of being married, they had no idea their entire world was about to change. One day Cheryl was making tea in the kitchen of her Brooklyn home when she heard a knock on the front door. She wasn't expecting any company, so she made her way to the front door to check who was there. When she made it to the front door, she was met by a bunch of police officers who stormed in. The officers ran past Cheryl and made their way upstairs where they found Bobby laying in bed. The cops asked Bobby for his name, and when he said Bobby Love, they said, "No, what's your real name?" Cheryl heard him mumble something really low, and that's when they put him in cuffs. Cheryl was confused because she never knew Bobby to be a criminal, but when she found out the real reason he was arrested, she was shocked. Part 2 coming soon. A woman lived with her husband for 40 years until one day the FBI told her who he really was. Part 2. Cheryl began to cry as police took Bobby away in cuffs. Cheryl began to cry and told Bobby to tell her what was going on, and that's when he admitted he was being arrested for a crime he did way before he ever met her. When Cheryl arrived at the local police station, Bobby began to give her a rundown of why he was being arrested. But before I continue, I just discovered a brand new app that will blow up your Snapchat. Click the link in my bio if you want to blow up your Snapchat. Bobby explained that when he was younger, he got into a lot of trouble. He explained that he was sent to juvenile hall on multiple occasions, and when he got out, his crimes got much worse. He admitted to multiple armed robberies and told her that he even went to prison for this. He said that he broke out of prison, met her, and started a brand new life. When he met Cheryl, he changed his name and has been on the run ever since.
Serial killers' terrifying last words in their last interviews ever.
So I have to come clean and tell the world. And I gotta come clean that I killed those 7 men in first-degree murder and robbery. As they said, they had it right. It's serial killer.
I heard, that you just couldn't stand being on death row after 12 years.
Nick, this is the last time I'm gonna say it. You have to kill Eileen Wuornos because she'll kill again.
Teenagers reacting to getting life sentences. On the morning of February 27, 2012, TJ opened fire inside the cafeteria at his high school, killing 3 students. He even wore a shirt to court that had the word killer on it.
And he pleaded guilty last month. When given a chance to speak, the 18-year-old Lane turned to the victims' families, made an obscene gesture with his finger, and used profanity. Crying could be heard, and people were visibly upset. Lane smirked as a prosecutor called him an evil person. A mother of one of the teens who survived addressed Lane directly.
You're really lucky there's so many police in this room right now. You can smile all you want.
Terrifying sounds made by animals. Elk mating calls are one of the most terrifying things I've ever heard. Listen to this.
Kind of made it sound like she was talking to him while she's really talking to dispatch. And dispatch would say, "Do you know this guy?" And she goes, "No, I don't know you, so can you just take me home because I don't even know you." She's telling him that, but she's really talking to dispatch. And dispatch one time told her that the radio was too loud, she couldn't hear that well. And she goes, "Hey, can you turn the radio down so you can listen to what I have to say?" And she was smart. I couldn't have did what she did.
emergency, Operator Bonnell?
I just got a call from my dad, and his cousin came over his house. He borrowed a shovel and the gas tank with a girl in the car, and she was tied up. And the girl got out of the car, and my dad's cousin went and put her back in the car.
What's the cousin's name?
Mikey King.
Michael King? And what does he look like?
I just know he has dark hair, he's white, kind of chubby.
What's the cousin driving?
A green Camaro.
How is it possible for the most heinous serial killer in history to be granted parole? Luis Garavito admitted to murdering 140 boys between the ages of 6 and 16 between 1992 and 1999. That figure, though, is probably closer to 300. He received an 1,853-year prison term in 1999. However, he will be available for release in 2023 because Colombian law only allows for a maximum of 40 years in prison, and because he cooperated with the inquiry, which raises some interesting questions.
3 ways to survive a skinwalker. Number 1. Don't ever whistle in the woods. No matter if it's daytime or nighttime, that's a calling signal, meaning that you're letting the skinwalker know exactly where you are. Number 2. Pray as hard to whatever you believe in as possible. Skinwalkers are demonic creatures, being so that they were transformed this way because they are cannibals, and have killed before. Number 3. White ash tree rubbed bullets may be one of the only other ways to stop a skinwalker in its tracks. Of course, most people don't have those laying around, so if you're in an area where you think you may or may not be able to run into one, you may want to pack those just in case. Don't forget to like and follow for another episode.
And this is how this organized crime group operates. The girls decant their drinks into refill glasses and carry them, along with some stolen candy, hiding behind their friend.